this right here, Alexandria fragrances. This is something that they offer. Travel set. Which is a set of 410 mils. And a lot of people have good associations with Alexandria. My first video with Alexandria, I think it got way more feedback than Dua and some of the other cologne houses, but I think they're great. I think they're really good, but it's gonna vary from fragrance to fragrance. Not every fragrance is gonna be a top round, but comparing them to the real thing, I have found that they are virtually identical to the ones I've compared them to, the Zerjoffs and the Initios. And if there is a difference, it's because Alexandria has extracts where the original fragrance might only be an eau de parfum, and you can tell there's definitely a difference there. So we have this. You go to open it up. Magnetized lid. And this is what you're looking at here. It has this right here. Business card also tells you how to identify the fragrances, because the fragrances are going to be in these travel sprays, which looks a little bit like lipstick. And the thing that I really like about Alexandria as well is they always include samples. They always include samples from their line. Last time that I got these samples, they were new fragrances coming out, and the problem with that was I had no idea what the fragrances were. And I just had to guess. Ended up being right on one of them, and I still have no idea what the other one was. So, today we do know though, because these are not new fragrances, and these Alexandria fragrances are mostly originals. The ones that I got are not clones, they are original Alexandria fragrances, so I'm trying to test out to see if I think they're worth it. But these are the samples. This is Centurion. As soon as I saw that, I was blown away because Alexandria has microphones hidden in my house or something. They seem to know what fragrance I'm trying to get my hands on, and they send me samples of. It's crazy. Last time they did that with Oud Maracuja. This time they did it with Centaurus by Creed. And this, then they usually drop the ball on one. Happiest Oud. This is a clone of Oud For Happiness by Initio, which is supposed to be a zesty citrus oud fragrance. Let's try that, get it out of the way. As a whole, I'm not a huge fan of oud, but I don't dislike it. It's just not my preferred profile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it just leaked out everywhere. That'll have to be enough. Not great, these little sprays, but I'm just happy to have them. Okay, let's try it out. Oud For Happiness by Initio. So it It smells just like it says it's going to. Right out the bat, you get a huge, like, orange blast. I kind of like it. I didn't think that I would. I don't know if I would say that I like it enough to buy it. But it's not very oody, which is kind of interesting to me. Just a lot of citrus, a lot of vanilla, a lot of ginger. Interesting. Let's leave that to the side, let it dry. I'm not getting a whole lot of that oud, which I find really interesting considering that's the name of the fragrance. Let's continue on to Centaurus. Centurion by Creed. This is Centaurus, which is still incredibly expensive and very not difficult to get a hold of, but has not even remotely started coming down in price because it just released in 2024. So the newest release by Creed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now it's just messing with me. Now it's not even going down all the way. 11, 12. Oh my gosh. 13. Wow. That was painful to get that out. You gotta want it. You gotta want it. Okay. That's actually pretty dang good right off the top. You're getting a whole lot of spice. I'm surprised at the amount of tobacco coming through. Heavy tobacco. Woodsy patchouli coming through. But definitely cinnamon, cardamom, and tobacco. I mean, you get it full frontal in your face. Surprised at how heavily tobacco based this is. I didn't know anything about the fragrance. That kind of surprises me. Kind of mass appealing, kind of not offensive. Neither of them are for being an oud fragrance. Very citrus orange. And that, interesting. Let's move on to the 10 mils. So, the only one I'm not going to talk about is this one. Because I just did a video on this one. If you want to see it, I posted it yesterday. So, I love how this comes in. Suede kind of material. And the travel sprays. They're in there pretty good. 1, 2, 3. And as I said, I really wanted to test out some of the original products of Alexandria. So one of these is their take on Virgin Island water, but they did a little bit different, and I'll discuss when we get to that one. And then Suede Pineapple, an original fragrance. And what was the other one? I don't remember what the other one was. Oh, it was Coke Zero. So let's talk about this guy. This is the first one. How do you see what's in here? You rotate and you pull, and there it is. Suede Pineapple. This is an original fragrance by Alexandria. And I'm kind of excited about this one because I do like suede. And obviously pineapple is a big note that you get in niche fragrances a lot. I think truly being popularized from Aventus suede is strong. That's actually really nice. It's really pleasant. Right off the bat, you get a huge blast of the suede and the leather, the citrus. You're not really getting pineapple. That's not really like, oh yeah, that's pineapple. It's more like, what I say, non-discriminatory citrus. You just get citrus. It's not like, oh, I just get this a little bit more lemon than anything else. But it really is just citrus and leather. That's actually really, really nice. If you are someone who likes the leather scents and wants to wear your leather around people, because ombre leather, very heavy, Godolphin, very heavy, not everyone's cup of tea. This is a great option because it balances that leather and the citrus really nicely. You could wear this inside, indoors, next to people. It's not offensive. I'm blown away. This is really, really nice. Somehow they managed to take a leather fragrance and make it kind of neutered to where you can wear it outside of the cold months. The leather is dying down a little bit, so I'm interested to see what happens, but leather is one of those fragrances that needs some skin. It needs some skin. It needs some heat. It needs some skin chemistry to really come out. So, that was really nice though. Let's leave that. Let's see what we get. We'll come back to it. Next. Okay, here we go. So this is their take on Virgin Island water, but they made it more intense. They call it their intense version. I don't know if Creed has ever had an intense version of anything. So I think this is just their way of trying to spruce it up a little bit. This is your quintessential summer or beachy kind of fragrance. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. So the travel sprays typically give you a little bit less per go. Okay. Yeah. Citrus, powdery, sweet. For sure. Kind of taste. It kind of smells like a mixed drink. Maybe Creed did have an intense version. That's the only thing I can think of is why would you make an intense? I've never heard of it, but let's go under the assumption that Creed did have an intense version. Yeah, so we're getting a whole lot of really sweet notes here. We're getting kind of a coconutty vibe, tropical vibe. Not that there's actual coconut in it. Salty seawater, but sweet. Really takes that kind of mixed drink approach. Pina colada-esque. Really good. Really, really good. This would be a great vacation fragrance. Obviously, it would have to really depend on where you are. There's very few fragrances that I look at, and I say, even if I was sweating profusely, I could wear that. And that's one of those that I can say that it smells like something that you would wear to like a barbecue, summer cookout. It's really good. I'm surprised by how much I like that. Actually, I've been surprised by everything so far. That means my last one. Coke Zero. I didn't know that colas were kind of a popular thing to be doing these days. Tonka Cola kind of led me on to figuring that supposedly, I don't think that this is purely a Tonka Cola fragrance. I think this is Alexandria's cola fragrance. And the reason why I say that is because when Alexandria makes a fragrance, if it is inspired by something or clones something, they'll say it. They're not shy about it. That's how they sell products. It's not going to be like, we made a new product and it's a clone, but you'll never guess what it is. They wouldn't sell anything that way. So I think this is a somewhat semi-unique fragrance of theirs. Let's try it. Whoops. I will say I was kind of blown away by how well Tonka and the cola go together. I heard someone say this, they're like, why would you want to smell like you just spilled a cola on yourself? Well, that's not what it smells like. Cola is not, first off, it's not fragrantic. So if you spilled it on yourself, you wouldn't smell like it. You would just look awful and look like a mess. Okay, let's put a nose on this. There's definitely a difference between this and Tonka Cola. A great difference, I don't know if I would say that. There's still that Tonka and the cinnamon and the base. But it has like more of a bourbon vanilla, whereas Tonka Cola was more like a sweeter vanilla. And vanilla is lacking, I think, from Tonka Cola. I really think that it is. Whenever I wear Tonka Cola, I always layer it with Ani by Nishane. And I feel like it completes it because what this smells like is like a cherry Coke. And someone said this, first off, no one's opinion is wrong. If it's your opinion, so it can't be wrong, it's just your opinion. But someone made a comment the other day about these type of fragrances, and they said it's like a mature man scent. I'm like, what? Cherry, energetic, citrus. I don't see that. I don't see this as being an older man fragrance. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe not a teenager fragrance, but an old man. No. It's definitely more rich and complex because I think of that vanilla bourbon note. Makes it less sweet than something like Tonka Cola. Much less sweet. And the vanilla actually comes out, I think, probably as the prominent note, which I was not expecting. Okay. Tough. Now that these have dried down, let's go back and visit. Let's go to the Happiest Oud. Which probably surprised me the most. It's a oud fragrance that doesn't smell like oud. And it really doesn't. This, y'all, if you don't like oud, I dare you to go try this. You pick this up and you'd be like, this is great, what's in it? And I say oud, you'd be like, no, really? That's actually really good. That's really good. 9 out of 10 fragrance. And it's about time I find another Initio fragrance I like, so maybe I'll be on the lookout for the Happiest Oud by Initio. Start building up my Initio collection. A lot of Initio fragrances I don't need, but I am on the lookout for Narcotic Delight. And I'm going to be ordering that very soon. That's a 9 out of 10 fragrance. That's a bomb fragrance. That's really good. That's really good. I actually can't wait to wear that. Centurion, which is a clone of Centaurus by Creed. I just don't love this fragrance. It kind of smells a little bit more like incense, or like not potpourri. What do they call that? Where like you set out the That's what it smells like to me. It's not overwhelming. It's not a wonderful profile, in my opinion. I think that's a bit of a miss, but not a complete miss. I can see why you would like that. And on paper, I should too. It just smells like scented fall decorations to me. That's a 7 out of 10. And for what I know that goes for right now, I would never pay something like that for that. Next, our Suede Pineapple. Dude, stuck. Oh yeah. Oh. That did a lot of maturing. Leather does that. I think people spray on leather, especially something that has a strong citrus like this or ombre leather. And they'll spray it on and be just like, oh, it's not that bad. I can do another spray. And then the leather sneaks up on you and is loud and is in your face. This is one of those examples. It went from being very much in the background to being very much in the forefront. Leather is just like the boss, right? His expert level, fighter, it's the boss level. And all of these notes that accompany it just typically fade away faster than the leather. The leather is so prominent and dominant fragrance note. And it's also slightly animalic. That's interesting. I maintain my original statements about it being less offensive, but not by that much. It really crept up on. I give this an 8 out of 10. It's pretty good, but it is heavy on the leather, and there is a difference between suede and leather, and that's not suede. I mean, that's leather. They're both animal products. Yes, I understand that, but leather is, in my opinion, with these fragrance notes, much more animalic. And suede is more furniture-esque smelling, mass-produced. Doesn't smell like an animal. It just kind of smells like something rich, something. It's difficult to say. When you smell the two next to each other, if what I'm saying makes sense. If not, then you probably are like, what is he saying? I don't even know what I'm saying, but a good example is Amber Sun by Milestone has a suede note. That's probably one of the best suede notes. It just does not smell like livestock. Doesn't have that leather does. Okay. Hawaii Volcano. Very much this pina colada, sunscreen, and coconut vibe. The perfect, I'm telling you, the perfect beach fragrance, 100%. Great fragrance, great fragrance. I am in a suit every single day of my life. I just don't know when I would wear this. I just don't know. In the orchestra, maybe. Hold on, guys. But this is a 9 out of 10 fragrance. Great fragrance, great fragrance. I just don't know when I'm gonna use it in. I also don't know. It's very sweet notes. I don't know how much projection you're gonna get out of it, but I'll let you know because I do plan on wearing all these, and I'll hit you back up at fragrance rotation video. Sometimes you need to let them mature a little too. I wore Valentino's Uomo Intense today, and it projected and performed for hours. Incredible performance. And when I first got it, didn't do that. So sometimes you just have to let it sit. Okay, Coke Zero. They can't make a Tonka Cola fragrance because this costs more than Tonka Cola. They had to do something different. And they're both extracts. What I rich vanilla, a sensual gourmand, deep, complex vanilla, oaky. That's what they decided to add into this. I've been adding a sweet, powdery vanilla, like Ani. And I think it's better, honestly, adding Ani as opposed to this rich and complex vanilla. I prefer Tonka Cola over this. But I think only because I'm layering. I think Coke Zero accurately completes Tonka Cola. But I've gotten used to spraying my Tonka Cola and layering it with things and completing it myself. So that's an 8 out of 10. Okay. That means we have one winner. And that winner, if you would have told me this was the winner. Happiest Oud. I really like it. I really dig it. 9 out of 10 fragrance. Totally puzzled by this orange, oudi, non-oudi, birchy, woodsy fragrance. Incredible. Incredible. Number 2 is definitely going to be Virgin Island water. It's really good as well. But I understand why some people might not be fans of Alexandria. I get it. And there's a whole lot that goes into it. Like, people say that Dua and Alexandria, they both get their oils from the same person, and then they do everything in-house as far as putting the oils in the packaging. The packaging isn't great, the bottles aren't great, but I got these on a 30% off Valentine's Day sale, and it was like $42 for 40 mLs, and these little dudes for free. Dua doesn't do that either, so I'm happy with it. And I can already tell you that I'm gonna feature them in my wearing guide as well. But I've worn the what was that? The God of Fire, yes. Cologne and the Andy Warhol this month, and was impressed with both of them from Alexandria. So I look forward to featuring some of them in my wear guides. But they're not cheap. These are not cheap. To get a bottle of something like this is gonna cost you over $100. No, it's not. They're not Latafas or Mauves off nons, but in my experience, they are hit or miss. But the ones that hit really hard, and they make original fragrances as well. And I was pretty impressed with that as well. The Suede